I find that the ones where it really clicks, which is a handful, frankly, is where, first of all, it's not about leads. If a sales leader goes, oh, how many leads? Where's my leads? Like, if that's the first question, I'm like, ooh, this is not going to work.
This is a good starter. What does strong sales and marketing alignment look like? I won't call on anybody. If somebody wants to just take that one, feel free. If not, I'll call somebody.
I'm happy to start. And I think it goes back to what Sydney really said, is that, is there sales without marketing or marketing without sales? I think, my belief is we go together, and it's hand in hand, it's joint collaboration, setting goals together. I've been in situations where that hasn't happened, and situations where it has. And it's much better when we are aligned on what the targets are, what the pipeline is going to be, who's responsible for what, and really that shared ownership of helping marketing get to their targets, helping sales get to their targets, that we do it together. That's been my experience in order to get that kind of alignment, which is all about communication and all about relationships, and making it a hand in hand, not pointing blame at either one.
I'll plus one Amy and not say the same thing, because everything she said I 100% agree with. And I think at this point, I'm like, I joke, I've done 22 tours of duty. That's probably how many CROs I've worked with in tenure. And I find that the ones where it really clicks, which is a handful, frankly, is where, first of all, it's not about leads. If a sales leader goes, oh, how many leads? Where's my leads? Like, if that's the first question, I'm like, ooh, this is not going to work. Because it's not about leads. It's about, what's our strategy? How are we going to collectively work together to achieve that? And a great example is, like, if you're going after a new market, are you building the plan together? How many, what do you need from a marketing perspective in terms of positioning and messaging and demand gen support, and how does that translate to the sales team that's going to be structuring it? Like, if we're collectively thinking about teams and pods as it relates to go-to-market segments, then we're going to be successful. And yes, 100% trust. Do I actually like this person? Are we the last two people at the bar at the end of the night? That's also a good signal.
Yep. Olivier, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just boils down to making sure that there's an agreement about, what is the ICP, right? What are the personas that you want to target? What is the messaging you want to use with that? And so as long as the leaders, I think it starts with the leaders, the CRO and the CMO are aligned, I think things will work more effectively. But I've seen when there is, difficulties at the top, it's really hard for the company to be aligned if the leaders don't agree. And so I think it starts with the alignment of who we're going to target and what's our messaging. And then, you can dive into, the basics after that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think in my experience, a lot of it does, well, kind of what Sydney said. If they are starting with the leads, or if we're having just the tactical conversations or the execution conversations, that usually is a warning sign to me. And so also, I think for me, being able to have a strong relationship with the sales leader, because I'm usually a different personality type than my sales leader. Like, I'm a little bit more timid. I'm more introverted. I'm not a very extroverted person. And so if my sales leader understands marketing and they appreciate it, and I can tell that from the very beginning, then usually I'm like, okay, we're going to be able to work something out. Like, even if the alignment's not like crystal clear or strong right now, that we will be able to get there. And that really always starts with, like, what do you think of marketing to begin with?